You're listening to the PRO Media Network. The next level in entertainment.
You're listening to the Pelicans post-game report on the PRO Media Network for all things Pelicans.
For all things Pelicans, you're now tuned to the Pelican post-game report on the PRO Media Network. This is podcast 316 on the podcast. We're breaking down the Pelicans' loss to the Denver Nuggets. Stats, facts, breakdown. Coach Gentry chimes in and all that today. Pelicans were scrappy, short-handed, but scrappy, nonetheless falling short.
They're fighting hard. Gotta give them some credit. Definitely fighting hard. They're doing everything they can do. It's just a decimated with injuries right now. It's a very unique situation that they're going through. But big ups to the crowd. Over 14,000 people showed up in the arena to watch the game, knowing that Anthony Davis wasn't playing, Julius Randle, Nikolai Mirotic, Etwan Moore, Elfrid Payton. All those guys were out of the game, but the Pelicans still put up a hearty effort. Now they're trailing this team out of a 4-game season series, 2 games to 1, as the Nuggets were scrappy enough to just keep ahead of them. So big ups to the Pelicans for a scrappy effort. I got to give them credit for the win once again, like what they did last night against the Houston Rockets, where nobody gave them a shot, but they just hustle. When you want it more than other team, it don't matter. You're going to get it if you really want it. Going into this one, 105-99, we'll have Elvin Gentry to chime in on his thoughts on the Pelicans' loss momentarily. I'll go over some team stats right quick in this 15-minute breakdown. Welcome aboard, new and established folks, to the Pelican post-game report. Going right at them. Pelicans 37 of 89 against the Nuggets 42 of 89. Pelicans almost 42% from the field, 15 of 36 from downtown. Big effort for the Pelicans. They shot almost 42% from downtown as well. They were 10 of 3. Didn't get a lot of opportunities to get to the free throw line in this one. Only 13 attempts. Didn't capitalize like I would have wanted them. But even if they had hit all of their free throws, they still would have fell short in this one. Only 77%. 48 rebounds versus 43 against Denver. You look at the assist game, 31-27 favoring the Nuggets in this one. 10 steals to 4 favoring Denver. 7 blocks to 4 favoring Denver. And of course the Pelicans turned the ball over 15 times for 26 points versus the Nuggets 10 times for 14 points. That's the thing I keep talking about, dealing with the turnover battle for the Pelicans. When they turn the ball over, they always seem to give up a ridiculous amount of points because most of the times the team is able to go up there and shoot threes on them. And they just suck as a perimeter team. They're playing a lot better defensively, as a lot of the guys off the bench playing with grit and grind and hustle to try to establish themselves. The key stat team-wise in this one was the fact that the Pelicans were dominated in points in the paint by 20 points, 62-42 by the Nuggets. Ultimately, deciding the game to a degree, but the Pelicans played well enough in this one. They just made a series of mistakes. The offense started to fail them down late, and that's what happened, man. When you kind of struggling, they kind of shorthanded, and you can see they kind of ran out of juice when they got toward the back end of the game. So let's see what Coach Elvin Gentry momentarily has to say about the loss of the Pelicans, 105-99 loss to the...
Coach, your thoughts on the ball game tonight? Maybe essentially what more would you have needed to get over the hump and get a win?
We didn't quite have our legs, and I think you could see Jaleel was struggling a little bit, getting up and down the court, played so hard last night, and then we had a few turnovers to start the third quarter, and I thought that's where they got separation. Wasn't so much that with the deflections that ended up being turnovers, and so that's where they got separation. And then we were playing uphill from there, and after playing last night and the minutes that guys played, we just didn't quite have the ability to make the shots that we needed. The one thing that I was most proud of, though, is like even when we got down again in double digits, we got the game back to a 1-point game and just couldn't get over the hump. You can see what kind of player Jokic is that, when they needed baskets, they went to him in a isolated situation. They got so many shooters around him that it's hard to then go get the ball out of his hands because he's such a great passer also. So, but I was proud of the way our guys played. I thought they competed like crazy. That's all we can do right now. Obviously, we're a little short-handed, but I'm happy with the way we played. Obviously, we wish we could have made a few more shots because I think we would have had an opportunity to win, but it just didn't work out tonight.
Did you know that Kenrich Williams was a sharpshooter from three, Coach?
I did tonight. I thought he did a great job, and the one thing that you find out of this is that guys have an opportunity, and some guys really take advantage of the opportunity. So, last night he has 16 rebounds for us. Tonight he makes 5 3-point shots for us. So, you give those guys an opportunity, and you're happy when they take advantage of it.
That's Coach Elvin Gentry breaking down the game, his take. Funny thing about it is we've been talking about Elvin Gentry's not the best developer of talent, especially if you look at his tenure here, playing more of the veteran guys, giving them an opportunity to win. Most certainly can't be mad about that, but you have to develop and play the young guys. Frank Jackson, Kenrich Williams, some of these guys can really help out. Wish I would have seen some minutes from Wesley Johnson in this one. He was the only one that wasn't hurt that actually could have played in this game now. Too bad he didn't get an opportunity, but kudos to Drew Holiday who played. Was pretty solid in this game. Drew Holiday, believe it or not, is now the star of the team. Anthony Davis pieced him out. Once he heals up, who knows where he's going to go. Pelicans might end up trading him later on. Perhaps they could persuade him to stay. But my mind is he's made up, he's going. Drew Holiday is now the center point of the team. He's doing a pretty decent job of communicating with the other players around him. Jahlil Okafor turned in a 14-point performance with 8 rebounds as he continues to steady his influence. Darius Miller shot better. I ain't gonna say better. He had 15.6 rebounds. His hustle game was there. He's learning to share the ball a lot more, kind of complementing and completing his game. Terrible from the field though. 4 of 13, 4 of 10 from downtown. Boy, when he just, if he can, when that 3 ball's not attacking, falling for him, he needs to learn to attack the paint. He's getting better at that, as I noticed. Just not sit on the line and just be a deep ball shooter. Big ups to also off the bench Kenrich Williams, 21 points, 8 rebounds in this game. He had a big rebound game last night, like that was the Stootley mentioned ad nauseum about his performance yesterday. But this team is scrappy. There's few pieces that they do have is very scrappy. Just want to make mention of the fact that I wish the general manager Dale Demps, at least you see all these guys hurt. Perhaps you can bring in a two-way player that can help out. Maybe another big to come in, a guy that could play the 4 and 5, maybe a 6'10", 6'11" guy to provide a little bit more depth off the bench. Just somebody to have for them to have when Jahlil Okafor goes down. I knew Sheik Diallo's there, but Sheik can play multiple positions. He can guard guys at the 5, the 4, or the 3 if you need be. Just I would like to see a little bit more length on this team, and it happens. But the Pelicans, man, it is what it is right now, and for us, it's a somber type of reality that we have to deal with now. Is watching this team now that they're no longer a contender, until the Anthony Davis card falls or domino falls. We don't know, we this team without him. They are a team that's outside the playoffs. They're not a playoff team without him. Of course, Nikolai Mirotic and Julius Randle, those guys do provide balance and focus. But the centerpiece, you take Anthony Davis, which is the foundation of the team, away from the team, you don't have much of a team. In my opinion, he is their warrior. He's everything. Without him, you have nothing. Right? So we've seen pictures of Gail Benson sitting up in the suite. But the thing about it is with the Pelicans, I have to make mention of the fact that Anthony Davis believes they're not a contender. But if you look at it, I got to give them credit. They're fighting hard. But it's just like can they actually get back into it to make a run late to do something? We don't know because it's all tied to AD. Once the trade occurs, if it occurs this year, trade deadline coming up think it's February the 10th, February the 10th, trade deadline. Will he move before that time? A lot of people don't think so. My two pieces on that outside of the game is the fact that I think that the Pelicans don't need to trade Anthony Davis anywhere in the Western Conference. You are absolutely insane, in my opinion, if you do that. Dale Demps, even though there are reports saying that he likes Lonzo Ball, Lonzo Ball reports say he does not want to be a Pelican, so stop looking at the Lakers. Do not trade Anthony Davis to the freaking Lakers. Trade him outside of the Eastern Conference, as smart as what San Antonio did. They traded his butt all the way to Toronto. They won't have to deal with him in the Western Conference. That's what you need to do. If he wants to be traded, you trade him to the Eastern Conference, and the best spot would be the Boston Celtics, where you can get a guy like Tatum. Maybe you can get a guy like Smart. You can get about 3 or 4 guys and a couple of picks for Anthony Davis. That way your team don't completely be bottomed out. But outside of that, the Pelicans come up with a very stiff performance. Had they have made a few more shots, had they have a few more stops, they would have had this game too, despite the fact that they were shorthanded. You're starting to watch these games, you learn it as the game get in the critical moments. They have terrible amounts of difficulties closing these games. You know, they don't know how to close the games, and that's something that really I don't know. It's interesting to watch them struggle through these games, but. The next matchup is the Spurs coming up on the 2nd of February. So that's going to be interesting to see whether or not they can deal with the Spurs. Spurs abused them when they were down here, went to the big man. Hopefully Dale Demps makes some moves here and bring in a few people. We have a few people that listen to the show, Pelican Postgame Report, through LinkedIn and other social medias. If you hear this show, when you hear this show, CC it to Dale Demps, please. Send it to Danny Ferry and Dale Demps, and let these guys know that let's get a few more two-way players here to keep this thing going. And of course, all the talk is how they can bottom out. Let's bottom out to get Zion Williamson. There's a lottery system. It's not the NFL. If you bottom out, you're not guaranteed to land Zion Williamson. It don't work like that in the NBA. Anyway, the Spurs is the next team on the horizon for the Pelicans. Of course, we know what they did to him last time. We know Julius Randle still be out. Anthony Davis, Alfred Payton is still day-to-day, so is Etuan Moore. DeMar DeRozan is out. He won't play in this game, but like it happened to him the last time, the Spurs didn't need any of those players to beat the Pelicans the last time around, 126-114. And right now they're leading the season series 2-1, and of course the final matchup is coming up where they can actually shut the Pelicans out 3-1, unless the Pelicans step up and play their game. The Spurs 30-22, 20-7 at home. Pelicans have a tall order to go in the AT&T building and knock off those Spurs to remain relevant. Last 5 contests, the Pelicans are now 1 out of 4. Actually, the last 5, they are 2 out of 3 games, winning 2 out of 3, which is almost 500, not quite. And of course, the Spurs on a 3-game winning streak, knocking off the Pelicans to start it. Then Washington, now Phoenix, they get the Pelicans again as they continue to try to mount and climb toward getting to the playoffs. So the question was asked to Elvin Gentry about whether or not Anthony Davis would suit up again in the Pelican uniform. He said he didn't have an answer for that question. My thinking is probably not. If he does come back, why would he risk injury to come back? Who knows how this is going to play? The man can very well change his mind. It's highly likely, highly unlikely, but who knows?
That'll do it for the show. Thank you for listening to the Pelican Postgame Report on the PRO Media Network. If you enjoy the show, please follow us on YouTube, subscribe, hit the notification button for more content. You can also support the show by going to our social media links in the description section below. Also, you can find our sponsors where you can buy products and help support the show. And always, if you enjoy the Pelican Postgame Report, share us with your family, friends, and loved ones. Thank you for joining us tonight. Peace.
Get straight sports talk from the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys.
Embrace Pet Insurance is more than just pet insurance. Embrace Pet Insurance promises to provide genuine support and certainty when your pet needs it the most. With personalized accident and illness policies, compassionate customer care, 24/7 access to veterinary professionals, flexible wellness plans, timely claims processing, and online customer portals, their values is what makes them Embrace. So, when selecting a pet insurance company as a partner in your pet's care, you deserve a company that has your pet's best interests at heart. Get top rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Up to 90% back on bills at any vet, total protection, pet insurance and wellness, and dependable claims payments. Get the top rated and reviewed coverage for your pet today. Go to embracepetinsurance.com. That's embracepetinsurance.com. Check the link in the description section below.
Get all the latest news and updates from your New Orleans Pelicans at the Pelicans Eye View, the new and official Pelicans Daily Journal, covering everything Pelican. Attention, everyone. Get breakdown on games, free agent signings, and potential moves. Unbiased opinions and straight up facts with statistical analysis from G Balance. Go to www.thesportsdaily.com/Pelicans-I-View.
Are you a boxing fan? Check out Ring Kings Boxing only on the PRO Media Network.
Do you need a domain name? How about a host for your website that can work with WordPress? Try Namecheap.com. They make registering, hosting, and managing domain names for yourself or others easy and affordable because the internet needs people. Namecheap is an ICANN accredited domain register and technology company founded in 2000. It's one of the fastest growing American companies according to the 2018 Inc. 5000. Celebrating nearly 2 decades of providing unparalleled levels of service, security, and support. Namecheap has been steadfast in customer satisfaction with over 10 million domains under management. Namecheap is among the top domain registrars and web providers in the world. They offer a full selection of popular and unique domains along with fully featured hosting packages, SSL security certificates, WhoisGuard privacy protections, and more, all at the lowest prices in the industry. So if you need a domain name or hosting or anything else, think Namecheap.com. That's right, Namecheap.com. Check the description section below for link.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
There's a lot of reasons to be a fan, but only NBAStore.com has all the gear.
Are you a Pelicans fan? Check out the Pelican postgame report on the PRO Media Network.